Alright, so our eggplant is just about ready. It's al dente, it's almost done. Perfect time to add our chicken. What I have here is a breast and a half of chicken that I've cut into very, very small, well, bite-sized pieces. And I marinated this with fish sauce overnight. You don't have to do this overnight. A couple hours will do. But so that the chicken itself inside has some flavor. Alright, so we're just going to add these into our curry. And because they're so small, they're about only this small, because they're so small, they're only going to take a couple minutes to cook. There we go. Let that come back to a boil and let that cook. Now, I told you earlier that we're going to serve our green curry in a way that you probably have never seen before. And that is with what we call khanom jin. Khanom jin is a special kind of rice noodles. Looks like this. They look like spaghettini. They look exactly like spaghettini, except they're made with rice flour and they're completely white. And in Thailand, we can never buy them dry. They're always made fresh and they're steamed fresh. But here, you can buy them dry, and it's called rice vermicelli. And it's usually a product of Vietnam, and they look like this. And what I did was I just boiled them in boiling water for about 10 to 15 minutes. They do take quite a bit of time to cook, and a lot of the starch is going to really come out in the cooking water. And so when it's tender, now this is Thai food, there's no al dente in our noodles. So when it's completely tender, but not mushy of course, just take it out, rinse it under cold water, and it's now ready to go. And this is, we eat green curry with khanom jin a lot in Thailand. And that's something I've never personally seen outside of the country, so I just wanted to share that with you today. So our chicken is done. So I'm going to turn this off and bring this right over here. And we're going to use this residual heat while it's still really hot. Grab a handful of Thai basil. Thai basil, just like this, kind of bruise them a little bit whole and put it in. And let the heat of the curry wilt it down. We really do not want to cook this very much. Let's take a look at this. You might wonder why I added the kaffir lime leaves early, but I added the Thai basil last. That's because Thai basil is a delicate herb. Alright, it's kind of like Italian basil, you know, very delicate, very fragile, and the longer you cook delicate herbs, the more flavors they lose. So you really want to add them at the last minute, and this applies to all herbs across the board, not just Thai herbs. The kaffir lime leaves, on the other hand, are very sturdy and very tough. So you do the opposite. You want to add them early. Let them have time to break down, to cook, to infuse into your curry. And if you're using dried herbs, the same thing. You have to add them early and let them rehydrate, let them infuse their flavor. So that's why we add them at 2 different times. So now, it's my favorite part. We're going to taste for seasoning. Just give it a little taste. Oh, that's good. But it needs a little bit of, that's right, fish sauce or Nam Fla. Just a splash. Now, how much fish sauce you're going to add completely depends on the brand of curry paste that you use. Mine happens to be quite salty already, so all I needed was just that little splash to just bring everything up. And we also were going to add a little bit of sweetness. Now, I'm using palm sugar because palm sugar, I've chopped them up. Palm sugar adds a richer sweetness, you know, it adds complexity. It's almost like caramel, you know, that buttery flavor. So it really brings up, rounds out all the spices, rounds out the saltiness very, very well. It really achieves a beautiful flavor balance at the end. So just about a tablespoon. Give it a stir. Can't wait to taste that. Give it a final taste. Perfect. A little bit of sweet, very complex flavors from all the herbs and spices. That's good. Okay, so I want to show you this. This is what our curry looks like, and I'm not sure if you can see it very well. On the top, there's a thin layer of beautiful green sheen oil that floats on top, and that's our coconut oil that has picked up the green color pigment from the chilies. By the way, the reason why the curry is green is because they used green chilies when making the curry paste. And for red curry, you got it, they use red chilies. Simple as that. So that's done. Now we're going to serve this over our succulent rice noodles. Just pour it right over. Oh, by the way, As I mentioned before in my first Tom Yum Goong episode, please do not eat the kaffir lime leaves. It's very woodsy, very chewy, and Thai people know not to eat them because it's common knowledge in our country. But if your guests are not familiar with Thai food, make sure they know not to try to chew them. And garnish it with a few juliennes of any kind of big red chilies will do. You know, I got these big ones. You can use Fresnos, you can use a big version of Thai chilies, you can use red bell pepper if you want. Don't use the really, really spicy one because you don't want anyone biting into that piece and be dying for water. So that's it, guys. Our beautiful Khanom Jeen Kang Khieu Wan, or green curry with rice vermicelli. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in and see you next time in Hot Thai Kitchen.